Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're going over some Stagg Juniors, or Stagg, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Stagg Junior. So we have this year's release, which is a 25A, and as far as I know, there hasn't been any other releases. I picked it up in my most recent Kentucky trip. Overpaid for it, so it's not like I got an MSRP. But what today I want to do is kind of compare that batch to some of my ones I already have open, but they're over the past couple years. So I have the 22A, there's a Stagg Batch 18, which is the last batch number before they went to the numbers. Well, they weren't batch numbers, they were proof, and we had to figure out what batch they were. But before they went to the more easily identifiable 24, 22, 23 ones. There's also a 20, what was this? 22A, 24, I can't even see them. 24A, there's a 25A, and the batch 18. So all these are basically A's. I don't have one from 23. So today we're trying to see which one's the best out of these four. Really, I just wanted to drink some Stagg Jr. What I want to do is really review the 25A on the channel because I haven't yet. And I did get it recently, but it's a good little chunk out of there. So let's see how these are. All right, let's get into the nose on A. Okay, not my favorite nose. I guess I was expecting a little bit more out of it. It's a lot of funkiness and some slight sweetness. So we'll see. Let's go to B. Okay, B also has that same funkiness to it, but has a little bit more nuttiness and more candy sweetness to balance it out a little bit more. A little bit better than A. Let's go to C on the nose. Okay, this one has that purple Jolly Rancher note that I've kind of was looking for an A and B, because I get that note a lot on Buffalo Trace products and I wasn't getting on A and B. It does still have that funkiness like A and B, but the least amount. This definitely is a lot of that purple Jolly Rancher note. Let's go to D. So D on the nose, very interesting. So I got some spice right away. Purple Jolly Rancher, funkiness, and then I was like, what is this like almost savory note? And it's termosus, which is a Portuguese thing, but in English it's a lupini bean, which if you don't know what it is, I'll put a picture of it up right now. But this is something that you find a lot in Portuguese bars. So like in America, you have like nuts and pretzels. There you have these termosus, and they're basically a bean. They're, I guess, very dense in protein, but it's not a very common thing in America, so I get it if no one knows the hell I'm talking about, but I get a little bit of that on the nose. Anyways, little education right there for you guys. Let's get into the palate on A. Not sure if I like that or not. All right, so I did like it overall, but there were some very strange notes in it. So nutty, dark profile, definitely drink proofy, and this is not first of the day. I had a little pour before this, and what that is a mixture of all four. There was a pouring accident before these four were poured again. These are blind to me. My wife's over there sitting and watching Hallmark. Anyway, sorry. But drank proofy. Oak, slight sweetness. On the finish, oak, nutty, slight red fruit, slight pencil eraser. Came right away, and I identified it immediately. It's a very distinct note. Not a good note, but it kind of went away. And what lingers is kind of like a nutty, like a peanut shell note. Let's give it a second sip. So the palate was a little bit better this time. I got a purple Jolly Rancher note, which anytime I'm drinking a Buffalo Trace, I specifically kind of look for that. And I know these are all Buffalo Trace, so I did get a little bit of that. The proof kind of went away, which is good. It's very nutty. I underline nutty, which means when I do that, it's so that I remember how nutty forward it is or whatever I underline. So very nutty. The finish kind of like disappeared, which on these proofs should never happen. I don't know what's going on right now, but let's try it one more time. Okay, palate, a little bitter, coffee-ish. Overall, a lot of nuttiness in purple Jolly Rancher, but newer notes. Got a little bittery. The finish too, the finish is not impressive on A at all. So A, that's kind of upsetting. I was like, again, I've done some reviews where I kind of go into it, think I'm going to like everything I'm blinding, and then A just like, this isn't that good. I'm like, oh, come on, man. That's not what's supposed to happen. Anyways, A, or B, sorry. Man, I don't know what is going on with these finishes. Okay, so on the palate, really enjoy the palate a lot on B. Dark fruit, red fruit, a good amount of oak, very intense flavors, nuttiness, purple Jolly Rancher. On the finish, it was hard to pick up notes. It kind of disappeared again like A did. There's some oak, some purple Jolly Rancher, some vanilla. But man, I expect a lot more out of the finish out of these bottles. But overall, I did like B's first sip over A's. So we'll see. All the same notes. This time I actually drank a little proofier than the first sip. But the flavors are pretty good. I do enjoy the palate a lot. The finish still isn't overly impressive for me. Again, same notes though. All right, one more sip. All right, so the palate, a little bit more vanilla notes. It does drink hot. They're all high proof. It does drink a little hot. And nuttiness on the finish. Again, the finish, I'm not impressed with the finishes on A and B. And the theme so far, which I don't remember Stagg Juniors being bad finishes. You know, this is one of my favorite bottles. If you could ever find it, right? I get it. C on the palate. Man, that was good. So C is very sweet. So the purple Jolly Rancher, vanilla, some oak, but overly very sweet. Does drink hot again. On the finish, best finish out of the three, which the bar was very low. I get it. Vanilla. Then I got a lot of citrusy notes like orange, creamsicle. That was a pretty good finish. Again, no, that was a good finish. I'm trying to say like maybe kind of went away, but overall a very good pour. They're getting better. Now, if these are in order from oldest to newest batch, then Stagg Juniors are getting better. But I doubt that's what the order is. Okay, let's go to second sip. A lot of the same notes. It does drink hot. I'm not afraid to admit that. It does drink hot. And it's funny because a couple videos ago, I was saying like if I ever had to guess proof, I'm going to have to go guess way higher than I'm thinking because I never get the proof. These are drinking hot today, but overall very good. I'm actually going to drink water before the third sip, just kind of see how that plays on this one. I usually do that. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'll do that when I go back and forth because that's when I usually drink water before. I'll just fight through the proof, not mess with my scientific method here. C isn't the most complex at all. It's a sweet bomb, very tasty. The finish though is by far the best, and I just got a little bit more nuttiness and oakiness on the third sip. The finish is by far the most complex out of the first three because the first two, the finishes are not that good. But the palate, man, I wish I had the palate of B and the finish of C. I think that would be really good. Okay, let's go to D. I don't know what the hell just happened with D. The palate, vanilla, oak, red fruit, nutty. Okay. The finish, vanilla, and disappeared. It did the same thing as like A and B. What is going on with these finishes? It didn't drink the proofy though, but we'll see. Because I think one of these, like the second sip, became really proofy. So now the finish isn't bad, meaning like the lingering note that's left in my mouth is decent. It's just like a sweetness, like a sweet oak. But there's really nothing besides like that. Second sip, like I predicted, it was going to get proofy on the second sip. Definitely drank hotter. On the finish, I got a little bit more nuttiness. Overall, probably the least complex out of all four of these. Okay, one more sip, see if there's anything interesting. So that sip, I got strawberry Laffy Taffy, that chapsticky note. And then on the finish, sweet strawberry Laffy Taffy. A lot of strawberry Laffy Taffy on that sip. All right, now I'm gonna drink some damn water. And I'm gonna go back and forth of these and kind of figure out some scores and which one of these is my favorite. Be right back. All right, I'm back, and man, that was a struggle. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. So obviously there's not too much. Which one is this one? This is 24A. So, you know, whoever wins probably gets the rest of this. I'm guessing that's less than 2 ounces, but it'll be right around there. Anyways, so rest of this, 2 ounces of the rest. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's do capital letters SJR. Because I'm sure if I did Stagg Jr, a lot of people are gonna write that anyway. So in last place, and probably a shocker to you guys because this completely came in last place when I was going back and forth. It's the Batch 18, which, you know, if you've been around, you know, once the bottle gets low, I put it into one of these, and I scored a 3. Now the reason I scored a 3 is because on the finish, it started getting very funky. I'm like, what is that? It was like a rotting wood note, which was very off-putting to me. So in the comments the other day, I was asking, like, you know, do I do more than just going through one way? Obviously, that person has watched the whole video. So you would know I do this part at the very end. So usually I go through one way. That's what you guys see all the time. And then I turn off the camera because it would be way too long. Because what I end up doing is I'll go back A, B, A, B, A, B, and kind of try to figure out exactly which one. Like I try to get different new notes first. I drink water between them. And then I try to A-B them to try to see, like, okay, do I like this one better than this one? That's kind of when I do the scoring. So when I was drinking this one again, multiple times I kept getting that rotting wood note. I'm like, man, I was like, hopefully it was just that one time. But it was multiple times, which is unfortunate because D was one of my kind of like doing pretty well. But I scored it a 3. So then it came down to these 3. And in third place is A, which is the 24A. So, and there is a new note on that. I got a strawberry Laffy Taffy note on the finish on that one. 3.5, pretty good score. I did enjoy it. I just liked B and C better. So then I was going back and forth, and B and C were actually, I scored them both 3.75. And I'm like, there's got to be one I like better. And there was. So first place was C, which is the 22A. So 22A wins. I scored at 3.95. No new notes. And so the newest one that I have came in second, the 25A. And no new notes on that either. I scored at 3.75. So a pretty good score. It would probably still make it into like the top 25 bourbons of the year for me. We'll see. It didn't. So I had this in my Whiskey Cigar Club last month, and it obviously didn't make the top 4 video. So it hasn't been doing that well in blinds. Now, when I had this fresh crack in Kentucky, we tried this against the 24D. I think everyone at the table enjoyed this one, the 25A, more than 24D. I believe. I'm pretty sure that was an accurate statement. If you have had the 25A, let me know. Let me know what's your favorite Stagg Jr Batch. I hear like 12 was a really good one. Everyone has like their favorite. I really thought some of these were going to blow my mind today, and they really didn't, which is kind of upsetting because Elijah Craig barrel proofs were one of the bourbons that I really gravitated to in the beginning of my whole bourbon life. And the Stagg Jr was something I chased so hard. And I remember used to loving them. Has my palate changed? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Very confused about what happened today. So, don't do it stupid. And if you do, don't get caught.